So here it's Thursday at PGA Show day with Victor Afable from VA Composites, good friend of Precision Golf. So new product-wise, Sinister 120 iron shaft.
Yep.
That's, I think just into the studio, we've got the demos in now. Tell us a little bit about what you've developed from the 110, the 90s into the 120, and why this product now.
Yeah, we have our new Sinister irons have done so well. I think the thing that we've identified, and our customers, like you guys, have been asking, is what is that thing? Show them this thing. How would you like that job?
You get everything at the PGA Show.
How would you like that job?
There's a flamingo there yesterday.
Now nobody's going to be looking at us. They're going to be looking right behind me here. So anyhow, we've identified that there's a whole segment of the golfers, as well as you guys have, that want that heavier weight. And so we released the new 120 Sinister iron. And the interesting thing about this iron is that we use a tungsten-infused raw material, pre-preg, what we call, in order to make the shaft. And really there's only a couple ways to make a shaft heavier. It's to increase the wall thickness or to put material in it. And as we increase the wall thickness, it kind of changes the feel of a shaft. I'm not saying it's bad or good, but I think it's unique that we use this material to bring the weight up to 120, and it just gives it a better feel. And you guys, I know you guys have it in the studio.
Yeah, I gave it a swing before coming out, and I thought what was interesting, because I gave it a comparison to the 110, was how yes, it's a heavier weight, but it didn't swing heavier.
Yeah,
actually,
exactly.
It moved, one way to phrase it, quite easily for a 120 shaft.
Right.
I thought.
Right.
And the feel out of it was very smooth as well.
So
I expected it to be a little bit of a kind of harder feel, for want of a better phrase, going up in mass, going up in material. You think, well, it's going to give me a little bit less back, but actually, the feel was so similar to the 110. It was good.
Exactly. So, tell me, what kind of golfer? I mean, for the people watching, what kind of golfer do you think that fits? Because I know you have lightweight steel at like basically 125. I know 115s too, right?
Yeah. And steel goes down to 75. I think you get different properties out of the different feedback out of the composites at that weight versus steel. You've got so much more material there. So actually, in terms of stability and potentially consistency of performance, that can help just get a little bit more consistency of load. But ultimately, it's how the shaft swings for someone is going to dictate whether it times better or not. But I think we're seeing more and more golfers going into, or at least considering the composite shafts, some of it dampening properties versus steel. But spin consistency is really good out of the heavier graphites as well.
So and that's another good thing. I think we see that guys tend to hit it longer. Than if they pull out their steel, they tend to hit it longer. They tend to hit it higher, and spin wise, I'm not so sure, but.
It varies a little on the player, but often a little on the stronger side in the heavier weights in graphite.
And I think a lot of that is really the golfer and their angle of descent, right?
Absolutely.
So we've done well with that, and we're excited to keep adding on to that whole Sinister line. Every one of our shafts in the Sinister line has that tungsten powder, and costs a little bit more money, but it's well worth it, and it's just great feel.
And when you're developing shafts, there's always a development pattern. You've got models that are performing well, but you're looking to refresh or just slightly change up performance. What are the key markers that you look at and say, right, of the product range, are you looking at holes in the product range, or are you looking at products that have performed a certain way and saying, actually, I'd like to change that up a little bit? What drives the model development?
We're always trying to be innovative, like we said about the 120 tungsten powder, but typically we tend to look at our line and see what might be missing, because we want to give you guys, fitting operations, the best options to fit all the kind of golfers that come in, and so we look at that. And a lot of times, if we have a line that is 5 years old, kind of like the sleigh, it's time to refreshen it and maybe try and make it a little bit better, maybe tweak it a little bit better. I know you and I talked about a couple things on the sleigh, and so that's probably going to be one of the next things that we're going to look at. we'll add some cool colors to it and brighten it up, and so James will like it more.
That's the thing, you get, that the heads develop, the balls develop, so therefore what the shafts need to do develops as well. I actually talking to a few guys this week saying I think the shaft companies are helping the head companies out a heck of a lot by the quality of products improving off-center performance of the heads, because they're so stable at impact. I think that's something I'm seeing a consistency of at the upper end models where the higher grade materials are used in most, but even through to the more entry levels, I think there's so much more stability of the products now. The quality of materials is, whether it's economies of scale, whether it's just availability of product, is one of the better ways, filtering down to the lower end cost line of the aftermarket models as well. It's been a noticeable change.
And another thing we do is we reach out to great customers like yourself and say, hey, not just in our line, but what do you see lacking just in the industry itself? Because it's like you said, as heads change, you get a little bit more stable. Sometimes shafts have to react to the changes in the market, and so that's what we do as well. I mean, it's just a lot of different ways. It's never ending, man. Never ending.
So, a little bit of insights to you for how actually the likes of us as fitters and shaft manufacturers and company owners interact to mutually develop. It helps us understand the products more, but also we can hopefully help you guys develop products too. So it's very much a two-way street. So all of you guys who come into the fitting bays and give us your swings and your data and information helps the whole industry develop. So
for sure,
fun chat as always.
Yeah, and if you're in Europe, you'll get fit by the best in Europe.
Very kind, very kind. But look out for all the other videos coming from the PGA Show. Go check out VA Composites online as well. They've got some great content on their channel too, some awesome graphics, some really kind of unique standout within the industry for that. Great products as well. Been a long-term friend. Come and test them out.
And comment below.